We're going to start with Chapter 1's vocabulary or definitions. These are extremely important as you move into geometry, knowing what each of them are, but even more importantly, how you label them properly when you're talking about them or writing about them. So we'll begin with section 1.1 and the definitions from that section. The first definition is point. A point is simply a location in space. A location in space. It has no size or shape. So it looks like this, and we would call it point A. What's important for this is that you always use one uppercase letter. One uppercase letter. I'll say one upper. Okay? Very important that you do not use a lowercase letter to label or name a point. The second definition is a line. A line extends infinitely or forever in both directions. So a line might look like this. Oops. Okay. And there's a couple ways that we can label a line. Notice I have capital letters on it. A and B, this should be. Capital letters to mark this point and this point. A line is made up of 2 points, and then it's what you get when you draw and extend a line through it. So we can call this line AB. When you name it that, you use 2 upper case letters. So we could call it line AB. We could also switch that around and call it line BA. Or you can write in words line AB or BA. We don't normally do this one. Doesn't happen very often. However, sometimes there's a lowercase letter in script usually hanging off at the end of one of the lines. That's a little lowercase n. If you have one, notice it's not touching a point. It's just floating at the end of the line. Then we might say line N. Okay, so it's either 2 upper or 1 lower. And you have a choice sometimes. Sometimes you don't have a choice, and only points are labeled and you have to name it by points. If there are 3 points along the line, you choose only 2 of those points. So if there were a C here, it would still be line AB or line BA, or it could be line AC. Okay, you have to choose only 2 uppers, 2 points to name that line. And then if there is 1 lower case at the end of the line, then you could call it by that 1 lower case. The 2 upper is the one we use more often. A plane is a flat surface that extends in all directions, like the top of your desk. The top of your desk is a plane if you imagine that it continues on forever. Okay. Now, when we draw a plane, we draw it like a parallelogram. It's a flat surface, but to show that it's 3-dimensional, we draw it as though it's slanted. Now, a plane is made up of 3 points. We'll call, in this case, point X, point Y, point Z. If you pick any 3 points in space, a plane will extend through those 3 points. So it's defined by 3 or more points. If you only have 2 points, that's not enough to be a plane. So when we name a plane, there's 2 options here. You can call it plane XYZ or any 3 uppercase letters. 3 uppercase letters. Sometimes, however, this is a tiny picture, I understand. sometimes there's a letter in the corner that's not attached to a point. So let me, if I draw it again over here. So let's say there are no points labeled, but sometimes in the corner there's just a letter, an uppercase letter, and it's often script. If it's in a book, it's a script T, but I'm just going to give you an uppercase T for now. So it's either 3 upper, which are the 3 points, or you can name it by that one uppercase letter that's floating in the corner that's not next to a point, or 1 upper. Okay? So you have a couple options there. So we could also call this plain T. Now the order of these letters X, Y, Z does not matter. It can be in whatever order you want. So this could be plain YXZ, it could be plain ZYX, any order you want, any 3 points on that plane. Collinear, the easiest way for me to describe collinear is if you break it apart into 2 words, co and linear. Okay? Co means together, and linear, of course, means line. Co means together, linear means line. So together plus line gives us points, lines, segments, that lie on the same line. So really probably should just be points and segments that lie on the same line. For example, if I have this line and I have 3 points along that line, then those 3 points are called collinear points. So if I asked you to name 3 collinear points, you would say points A, comma, B, comma, C. This is important, very important. When you have 3 uppercase letters with no commas, it labels a plane. But if I ask you to name 3 collinear points, then you are saying 3 separate points, point A, comma, point B, comma, and point C, or point A, comma, B, comma, C. Different from a plane. Different, okay? So it's important that you understand the difference. We are using uppercase letters because we're naming these points. So these should be upper. Okay. Sometimes you'll be asked to name 2 collinear points. Make sure you use uppercase letters for those. Now, coplanar is very similar. We still have that co there that means together. But this time it's planar. Not coplanar, but coplanar, which gives us plane. So points, lines, points, lines, segments, etc. So it could be more things that lie on the same plane, together on a plane, coplanar. Okay, not too difficult. So if I have a plane and I have a point and I have a line, then I would say line A and point B are coplanar. Line A, lowercase, sorry. Line A and point B are coplanar. Line A and point B are coplanar on the same plane. So there's your section 1.1 definitions and how to label them. If you need to review that, you can always come back to this and watch this again.